It's June 20th, 2023. I'm Brian. This is the WNBA Lean Show. If you're watching this video right now, help me grow my channel. Hit the like button if you don't mind. And I'm going to lay out what I think is going to happen in these games. I'm going to be very brief today. Nothing super long, nothing super lengthy. You take what I give you and you use it to help you, or if you don't agree with it, just toss it out. We're good. But leave a comment if you'd like. I appreciate that also. But hit the like button right now. All right, let's go into the first game. Atlanta Dream visiting the Dallas Wings. Dallas favored by 3.5. And this is a pretty evenly matched game. Let's go real quick and talk about the records of these two. Atlanta's 5-5. Dallas is sitting just a game below 500 at 5-6. Atlanta's been superior against the spread, 6-4 record, 60% against the spread. Dallas, not much value, 3-7-1, so they have not been covering spreads. And that would lead me to be careful in this game. If I was going to bet the Dallas Wings, I do think the Wings are going to win this game. Atlanta has won 7 of the last 10. They've covered 7 of the last 10 in this matchup, in this series. And I do look at every matchup with the WNBA and any team, any sport. I look at it as a series. So you're looking at the next game in the series of the two teams. So Dallas beats Atlanta by 7 points in the last matchup, and that was on May 20th this year. And then last year, Dallas did beat Atlanta as a 1.5 point dog. So Dallas favored by 3.5 here. I think Dallas is going to get the best of this game. If I was playing the game, 3.5 seems about right. I'd be tempted to play the money line if I was going to play the Dallas Wings. Now, I have not bet any games yet. It's too early. The lines are not out of my book, or they were not out of my book. But I am looking at the Dallas Wings today. So whatever you decide to do, you take whatever I say and you do whatever you want with it. But I think Dallas gets the best of Atlanta. I think they could cover the 3.5. I'd be more inclined probably to take the money line. But I'm not going to look, I'm not betting these WNBA games big. I don't know what you're putting on these games, but I'm not betting them big. I'm just telling you what I think. Do I think Dallas minus 3.5 is worth a bet? I do. Do I think Dallas money line's worth a bet? Yes, possibly. Could you connect that with another game? You could. So there's that for that game. Let's go to the next game. Minnesota Lynx versus the Sparks. Now, we correctly predicted the Lynx a couple of games ago. They played the Sparks head-to-head. June 16th is when we predicted it. Minnesota was catching 5.5. They found a way to win that game 77-72. And Minnesota has covered, let me just look at this. Let me pull this down here. I'm on covers.com just in case you don't know. Minnesota has covered 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 10 of these matchups. Minnesota has had the LA Sparks number, haven't they? I'll tell you what, that's crazy. I will say this, though. This is a tough matchup because, first of all, I'm sorry, let's go back here. Let's go back. Let me getting ahead of myself here. Minnesota's 3-8 on the season. They're 5-6 against the spread. Sparks are 5-6 on the season. 5-5-1 against the spread. So they're even money. Now the Sparks, I feel, are a superior team, but they just can't seem to beat the Lynx. So what do I think is going to happen in this game? I will tell you what. Sparks minus 5.5. Do I think they're going to win? I do think they're going to win this game. Are they going to cover the 5.5? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not going to bet the game because I just don't trust the Sparks right now. They are at home, but they were at home last game when they played the Lynx. The Lynx were on the road. And Lynx were coming off, I believe, a loss in that game, and they beat the Sparks in that game. And as I said, I was looking for a reason to back the Lynx. I'm not looking for a reason to back the Lynx in this game. I would look for a reason to back the Sparks, but at 5.5, I don't think I could find it. I don't see the value here. Let's move on, okay? So, last game of the day, UConn Sun going in Seattle. Seattle catching 8.5 at home against the Sun. Now, let's be clear. The Sun are a superior team here. Seattle Storm are only 3-7. The Sun are 9-3 and playing very well. But I will say this, the UConn Sun, they're 6-5 against the spread. There's going to be a lot of money on the Sun tonight in this game. The Seattle Storm are 6-3-1 against the spread, so they're no losers against the spread. I will tell you this. Let's go into the matchup as we begin to decide to wrap this up. UConn has covered the last 3 in a row, okay? including one at home on July 28, 2022. They beat Seattle as a 3-point favorite, 88-83, beaten by 5 points. And they beat them as a favorite the time before that also. But it's been a pretty even last 10 games, 5-5. Both teams have covered 5. And Seattle catching 8.5 at home. That's tasty. That's tempting, right? That's tempting. And in fact, so I look at numbers and I look at number sequences when I bet these games. I don't necessarily look at records. I'm trying not to play a shitty team. Seattle's not a good team. Are they shitty? You decide. But I think the sequence favors Seattle. Seattle plus 8.5 tonight. I think that's a good play. And that's where I'm siding on that. So whatever you decide to do, there's what I gave you. I gave you the Wings minus the 3.5. Better on a money line, I think. Minnesota, LA, can't really play it. Got to kind of watch it and get a gauge. Maybe the next matchup will have a play, but definitely not tonight on that. UConn going into Seattle. UConn is the superior team. Seattle catching 8.5. I think the sequence favors Seattle. I like the 8.5. Going to be playing that. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. Help me grow. I'd like to find 800 players, because when I do the NBA, it's going to be huge. We're going to win huge money in the NBA. I'd like to find 800 players who are going to bet with me in the NBA this fall. I hope you're one of them. Hit the subscribe button.